everybody. Welcome back to the SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Cesar.
And today, before we get into this fancy fun bottle, we just want to say to all you new folk, hey, thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Also, if you're a returning viewer, we appreciate you sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody hit that little bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Cesar, what do we got on the bar today?
Today, we got something from your bar, my brother.
That's right. Today, we got something new to the bar. We got Compass Box Menagerie. So, Compass Box Menagerie. Cesar, you excited about this one?
I'm excited for this Compass Box lingerie.
I'm very excited. Our compass is pointed north and we're heading there. So, let me go ahead and tell you a little about Compass Box, just because this is our first Compass Box on the channel, and for anybody who's new to whiskey, you may not know about it. So, Compass Box, a little bit of history on them. First things first, they're actually not a distillery. They are a blending company. Their founder, John Glazier, has a history in the whiskey world as a marketing director with Johnny Walker. He actually came from the wine industry, and he's a damn blending wizard, actually. That's one of his superpowers. At the time of this video recording, Compass Box does not offer any age-stated whiskeys. They do not add color to their blends, and they do not use chill filtration. And in addition to their unique artist-centered labeling, they try to be as transparent as possible, providing a wealth of information on the packaging of their bottles, making them kind of a whiskey enthusiast pariah, if you will. That's a $5 word. Their core range consists of 5 bottlings: the Artisan Blend, the Glasgow Blend, Hedonism, the Spice Tree, the Story of the Spaniard, and the Peat Monster. In addition to their core range, though, they have a number of limited edition bottlings as well, which brings us to this bottle. This is the Menagerie, and this is one of their newest offerings, and it's the Menagerie Blended Malt Scotch Whisky. It's bottled at 46% ABV. As stated before, but just so it's known, it is not chill filtered and it is of natural color. And the lead whiskey maker on this bottling was James Saxon. It brings together malt whiskey from distilleries such as Mortlach, Deanston, Glenelgin, and Lefroy. I'm excited about this one. In addition to the fact that Compass Box is all about transparency, I mean, they've even got essentially the percentage of recipe right on the back of the bottle, so that's kind of cool. This bottle is limited edition. It's limited to 7,741 bottles. And again, it's a malt whiskey from a bunch of different distilleries, like I was saying. I'm really excited about it. I've had a few Compass Boxes. One of my favorites is the Spice Tree. I don't have a bottle of it right now, but a friend and I got to sample it, and we both fell in love. I love the Glasgow Blend. I've had a bottle of a Story of the Spaniard, and we got a bottle of the Peat Monster coming up in the review queue as well. Needless to say, I've loved everything I've ever had from Compass Box. I would say there's not a bad Compass Box. There's just ones I like more. So nonetheless, what are you expecting as we get into this bottle?
So
there's some distilleries in this that we've had, and there's some distilleries that we haven't. I've never even heard of Glenelgin.
So Compass Box, I mean, I'm only expecting good things from what I hear. I know I've tasted it, but the last time I tasted it was when I worked at your store like a couple years ago, right?
Oh yeah, so it's been a minute.
It's been a while since I even tasted a Compass Box. But one thing that comes to mind though is like, how immaculate does your palate have to be in order to be like, all right, well, let me be a blender and have it come out good, right? Let me try all these whiskeys, let me put them together and show you that this is actually going to be good. So how immaculate does your palate have to be to understand each one to where you know what to put together?
Yeah, I mean, I think that
must
just
be cool.
comes. It's one of those things, right? Where like people talk about fast aging whiskey in like a small barrel, where it's like, oh, you can get like a 20-plus-year-old whiskey in 5 months. No, you can't. There's things that just happen over time, right? And time and age, it's one of those things where things will develop. And I think it's the same thing for a blender, right? Time and experience. It's the same thing with everything. And so to get to like a level of a John Glazer where he's just like, yeah, I do this stuff blindfolded,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
worries, right? Like, and again, I'm just making an assumption about the man because again, everything I've ever had is exceptional. So he's a damn wizard in my book. Accio blend for all my Harry Potter fans. But nonetheless, like I said, time and experience. And so to a certain degree, pretty much, you know, a lot of whiskey is blended, whether it's a blend of just different barrels or it's a blend of different distilleries, right? And this happens to be one of those latter examples. So I'm excited about it. Let's get into it. Have you already nosed it?
Have not yet actually.
Malty for sure.
Oh yeah, malt is like instantly.
So, okay, one of the things that stands out to me, right? Like, I'm getting that malty foundation from a Deanston, right? I'm thinking of that Deanston 18. I'm thinking of the Virgin Oak that I've had, which, by the way, you can check out the Deanston 18 up here. But it's interesting because one of the distilleries in this is Lefroy, right? And Lefroy has been described as lighting beach trash on fire and just nosing that and living in it. I wouldn't necessarily say that's my personal experience, but I understand what they're after. This does not hit you offensively with smoke.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's more like to be honest, you kind of nailed that. 18-year Deanston is what I'm getting in the smell.
Like, I'm getting the typical like vanilla and caramel notes of like a bourbon cask. But I also get some apricot in there, a little bit of grape note. Even maybe like an orange peel note in there as well. You've already sipped it. Now, truth be told, we have not had this. We cracked this bottle for today's review. I haven't sipped it. All we have done is nose it. So this is our first impression.
That is interesting. I'm definitely getting honey out of this, but I'm looking at what distilleries they mix together, and that makes it. It's like Highland Malt Blend, the Deanston Distillery, like that's actually a pretty good mix. This is really good. I like it.
So the 46% presents itself almost like a 40. Like, it's very sippable. Like, not offensive, doesn't bite you. A little bit of a spicy finish, not pepper, but like an actual like a cinnamon spice.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing offensive at all. The peat shows up on the back end. Like, I'm getting that earthy peat note. I'm not getting a smoked peat by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm getting that grass, fresh cut grass, lawn kind of note. It's very nice, and the finish is kind of reminding me of that Balvenie we did a few months back, the Sweet Toast of American Oak. You can check it out up here. But this is a unique, really interesting flavor. Like the orange peel that I got a little bit on the nose, not showing up in the palate at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
But I'm with you on the honey
Yeah.
for sure. Like, I'm getting that Deanston honey note for sure.
I got like a malty honeyness.
It's like
the majority.
honey toasted bread. Like, you ever take a piece of toast and then just put the butter on it, but maybe add just a touch of honey? Oh, so good. I know it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. Now I want toast.
Hey, breakfast is good for any meal of the day. Oh, there it is. We got a whole new projection. I totally didn't know where we put the water at.
Yeah, and I know we took some time off unintentionally. We'd like to apologize for our regular viewers. We just honestly couldn't get a chance to shoot. Schedules conflicted. May was rough, so we just didn't get a chance to get together and shoot. But nonetheless, we're back at it. We're shooting some new reviews, doing some new things. We'll see how you guys like it. So I just put 3 drops of water in it. How much did you put in?
3.
I mean, it's 46%, so we'll see what happens. But, I mean, it's a blend, right? So blenders, typically speaking, will take the whiskey down to like 20% while they're blending it to try to get all those flavors to open up. So I'm very curious to see. I don't know if I've ever put water on a Compass box now that I think about it.
Interesting. Coming from someone that puts water on everything.
Every review. Smoke shows up a little more with the water. Not offensive, but it's there, more present. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I picked this up, Total Wine, $115. Compass Box is one of those companies that I will buy a little bit blind when it comes to their bottlings, because everything I've ever had has been really exceptional. Like if you're rating it on a scale like we do of 1 to 5, everything's been at least a 3.5 and up. And like I said earlier, there's no Compass box that I don't like. There's just ones I like more.
You know what's funny?
What?
This with water tastes like... All right, let me rephrase that. When I drink it without water, it tastes more like it had water than while I'm drinking it right now, while it does actually have water. I think it's a stronger taste. Not bad taste. I just think that it's more scotchy. It's like, all right, you know, that this is a scotch.
Would you say it adds complexity?
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Adds complexity to it.
That's why I add water.
Yeah, adds more complexity to it than without water. It's like, wow, it usually water lightens it up somehow, but this was like, it add complexity to it.
The water brings out the spice element. Now I'm getting more of like a nutmeggy clove kind of Christmas spice, so to speak, on the finish. It's a very warm, what do we call it? The Scotland Snug way back when. It's a very warm, like everybody talks about the Kentucky hug where it feels like you just have this warm chest. It's got a little bit of that now with the water. Not offensive, not peppery or anything like that. I lost a little bit of that earthy note on the finish, which I was kind of digging. It's funny, like whenever it's the earthy peat, I don't really care for it on the palate, but on the finish, I like it. Like for some reason, that's my preference, or that's where I get it and I like it, right? So I lose a little bit of that, but it's still very nice with the water. But I will say one thing, this was a little oily without the water, and with the water, it goes down a little bit easier. And
yeah.
I actually really liked the oily texture of it. So
100%. As far as review goes,
I say, where are you honing in at?
Well, what was this price point at? Did you
$115. And again, it's a limited edition. So once this is gone, it's gone.
Okay. So, I mean, it was good.
Unless they do like Menagerie Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Got him.
So this was good, folks, but I'm going to probably rate it at like a... unfortunately, I'm rated like a 2.5 because it's good if it was at a regular, like, consistent thing and be like, all right, it's pretty good for it being normal, rated a 3. But for it being a limited release, I kind of expect more from it. And for how average and basic the flavors were for me, is why I'm going to notch it down to a 2.5. So, I mean, it's nothing I dislike about it. It's just that I expected more from it.
I'm kind of with you a little bit. It's not so exceptional that I would be like, oh my God, it's limited. I got to go buy another bottle before it disappears, right? Am I happy to have it on the bar though? Yes. I think this is one of those where it's offering complexity. We may be struggling to get to it because it's the first dram of the day in terms of reviews. We do warm up, obviously, but nothing too crazy. We kind of easy drink our way into things, especially because we do start earlier in the day. But I still do like it, and I'm curious to see what it does over time.
Yeah,
I remember, spoilers for another review coming up, when I first cracked the Peat Monster, I was like, ho, no thank you. This is not for me. And as it's opened up over time, and I've had that bottle now for about almost going on 3 years, it has gotten just nicer over time. Now, I don't think this is going to need 3 years to open up, but I think once it gets past the shoulder a little bit, get some air in it, spend some time with it, I think this is going to be a really nice dram. And it's because it's a nice dram to start, right? It's got a really good foundation, but it's not... I'm not running out to spend another $115 on it. So for me, I'm going to stay at a solid 3. I think this is still better than, like, say, your entry-level blended whiskeys. Mm-hmm. Let's say, like, if it was between this or a Monkey Shoulder, yeah, pour me some Menagerie, right?
But it's also like $80 more. Exactly.
Like, it's perspective on price point and how it holds up to the water and things like that. Like, part of me has half a mind to dump more water in this and kind of see what water does to it as it goes down. But for the sake of keeping the review short, like I said, I'm going to stick with a 3. I think it's deserving of a 3. I would say that I'm cautiously optimistic on it. Like I think this could cruise its way up to a 3.5, maybe a 4, depending on how it opens up.
Yeah, that's
right now it's a 3.
That's how I felt about that Ardbeg Ugandale. Remember, like at first I didn't like it, and now I've had it for like 2.5 years, and it's like, dude, this is magic. This is so good.
Ugandale is so good. But nonetheless, folks, have you had the Compass Box Menagerie blended Scotch malt whiskey? Say that 5 times to that. I can't even say
it. We're like coneheads.
Somebody who's not paying attention, it's just like, what just happened? Like they're in the bathroom shaving or something, and like, what just happened? Did Matt and Cesar have a stroke? But anyway, guys, hit us up in the comments. True. Have you had the Compass Box Menagerie? Have you had it out of the Compass Box? Be sure to let us know. Let us know if we should pick up another Compass Box that you may like. I have had the hedonism, but it's a little bit expensive, so we'll see what happens. Stop it. I'm on the road. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We love you guys. We'll catch you next time. You got anything else you want to add?
No, what about you, brother?
Stay safe and drink well. All aboard. Catch you next time.
Off the rails.
Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Shit. Let me video.